Hello and happy Saturday from me and Alistair. Um, hey, so I just wanted to post a very brief video talking a little bit about the drafts that you should have submitted by now, and actually most should have received feedback by now as well. And then also about your blog entry, your first blog entry, which is due tomorrow. So I promise I will be very brief. I know it's a beautiful day. It's a weekend, and you probably don't really want to sit and listen to me, but I'll be quick. Okay, first of all, the blog entry. Most of you have submitted your blog site to me, either from a Medium site or Wix site that you created. What I did was I took and copied and pasted those sites into our class website, not just Brightspace, although you can access it through Brightspace, but it's actually a Wix site that has buttons that, sorry, he thinks he's a dog. There are buttons that link to each of your individual blog sites, so you're able to go on and read other people's blogs, or you will be able to do that once you guys start producing them. So what I'd like for you to do is, for your first blog entry that's due tomorrow night, I want you to create an open letter. Before you do that, you need to think about a number of things. First of all, the audience for a blog is very different than an audience for a more academic paper. So think a little bit about that. Just like when we're evaluating any rhetorical situation, as you have just done with this first assignment, you have to look and say, okay, well, who reads blogs? What kind of language is used? What kind of blog do you want to create? Like, what kind of image or impression do you want to give off as a writer? So think a little bit about that as you design your entry. I've made it kind of easy because the first entry is pretty structured. It's an open letter, and I've posted links to McSweeney's Guide to Open Letters. Is not the only one. There are a lot of people who write open letters. McSweeney's just has a nice way, I think, of providing some structure and an outline and a guide for you. So I've posted a link to that. So think about this. An open letter is not literal. You're never going to send it. You don't want to send it. It's like me saying, oh my God, here's an open letter to the annoying lady in front of me at Starbucks this morning. No, I don't need to hear your whole life story. No, thank you so much. But you shuffling through your pictures, whatever, whatever it might be, that's usually it stems from some sort of a pet peeve. But there's some thread of truth to it. So you're still expressing yourself, but you're doing so without implicating any individual. Often, in fact, more than often, they're shared experiences. So you've probably been behind that same lady I was behind at Starbucks line, or you've been behind that driver who insists on, going 40 in the 55. Whatever it might be, these are sort of shared experiences. So by drawing on that, you can sort of poke fun and release a little bit of anxiety or anger. And you can then create this sort of shared playing field. People find it amusing. They relate. It's one of those things where they go, oh my gosh, I know exactly what you're talking about. Now you can write your open letter, and you'll see this in McSweeney's, but you can write it to an entity. You could write an open letter to your favorite pair of shoes. Okay, you could write an open letter to your cat, or to my cat, or to your front door, or the doorbell, whatever. You could write it to anything. It doesn't have to be funny. It doesn't have to be sarcastic. It could be very serious. You could write an open letter to your first love. Okay, and in doing that, yes, you might know that individual, but nobody else will, and it should capture a shared experience. So think a little bit about that as you draft that letter, and have some fun with it. The other piece I want to say to that is, don't give me just a paragraph, okay? You're going to have the opportunity to go back at the very end of the semester and revise these blogs, but I want them to be really good from the start. It's just going to eliminate any unnecessary revisions on your part. So do your best to polish it, to make it reader friendly. Remember, it's being published. This goes directly onto your blog site. You don't put it in the Dropbox. You don't have to email it to me. I'm going to go read your blog site. I want to see it in all its glory on your blog site. However, that also means that anyone else could see it. So you want to make sure that you proofread, that you think about what it is for publication purposes. You don't want to come across and lose your own ethos or credibility because it's riddled with errors. So take a look at it and make sure that you are carefully reviewing what you're putting out there, okay? Because it's going to be representative of you in a much larger field. Have some fun with them. Really, honestly, probably some of the best pieces of writing that you'll do this semester will be held by that open letter blog entry. Each week the blog entries will change, meaning you're just adding to them, but they will be on different topics. I'm not going to dictate entirely what you do. Like with this, it's just an open letter, so I'm giving you the formula essentially, but you're going to write about whatever you choose. Okay, as for the rough drafts of the rhetorical analyses, I have returned them all that I've gotten. Every time they come in, I grade them because I know our turnaround time is very, very short. So I have put them back into the Dropbox. And sorry, I'm getting like text message, cat, all kinds of things, interruptions galore. Anyway, I put them back into the Dropbox. In order, I make comments directly on your draft. So you should see marginal comments in red, in-text comments in red, a big commentary at the end typed in red ink. If you open your essay and you don't see those, you need to let me know right away. Some platforms have trouble opening them. You might want to try a different web browser, but I want to make sure that you can see those because I can assure you it could be the best paper in the whole entire world, and I'll be writing you notes throughout, good ones, but it'll give you some feedback. From there, now you have to go on to revise those essays, and the final draft is due on Monday night by midnight. Monday or tomorrow, maybe even tomorrow, I'll talk a little bit about a final paper overview that I'd like you to attach to the final paper. It's really a very brief couple of paragraphs where I ask you to reflect on how you feel about that final draft, how you feel about the revisions you made, what was beneficial, did my feedback help you, or were you just like, oh my God, this is so unclear, why bother, whatever, I don't know. Give me some feedback, and there's some direct questions on a document that I'll post for you guys to share. So enjoy this beautiful weekend, and I will be in touch.